The Wyoming rule is a proposal to increase the size of the United States House of Representatives so that the standard representative to population ratio would be that of the smallest entitled unit, which is currently Wyoming. If the disparity between the population of the most and least populous states continues to grow, the disproportionality of the House will continue to increase unless the House, whose size has been fixed at 435 since 1913, is expanded. One is by dividing the total population of the United States by the population of the smallest unit, which is then rounded to the nearest whole number, and this number of seats will be divided proportionally between states. The other method is dividing the populations of individual states by the population of the smallest one and then rounding those numbers to the nearest whole number. A total of 568 House seats would have been required to implement the Wyoming rule based on the 2000 census results. However, the decade leading up to the 2010 United States Census saw Wyoming's population increase at a greater rate than that of the U.S. as a whole. As a result, the required House size to implement the Wyoming rule was reduced to 545. The wide disparity in population among the states combines with the cap on House membership to lessen the effective representation for people who live in more populated states. The most glaring example is California, which, according to the 2010 census, had a population, 37,253,956, approximately 66.1 times that of Wyoming, 563,626. Yet, because of the cap on House membership, California has only 53 representatives to Wyoming's 1. Therefore, under the Wyoming rule, California would have 13 more House members than it currently has. Another example of the dilution of voting power can be seen by comparing the most populous state with only one representative, Montana, to Wyoming. A vote by one of the 989,415 residents of Montana is worth only 0.5697 of the vote of a resident of neighboring Wyoming. While a larger House size will generally result in the smallest and largest districts being proportionally closer in size, this is not always the case. Therefore, in some cases, the Wyoming rule may actually result in an increase in the ratio of the sizes of the largest and smallest districts. For instance, after the 1990 census and with a House size of 435, the largest district, Montana's at-large district, had 799,065 residents, 76% larger than the smallest district, Wyoming's at-large district with 453,588 residents. The Wyoming rule would have given a House size of 547 in 1990 if the former method of seat apportionment been used. With that size, the largest district, North Dakota's at-large district, would have had 638,800 residents, 92% larger than the smallest districts, Delaware's 2 districts, at approximately 333,084 residents each.